Canada's first match at the Men's World Cup in Qatar is in the books. And it's not the result many soccer fans in this country were hoping for. A 1-0 loss to one of the top-ranked teams in the world, Belgium. The match began with something not heard at a Men's World Cup since 1986. Oh, Canada. Alphonso Davies had a golden chance to score the opening goal early on when Canada was awarded a penalty kick, but the Belgian goalkeeper made the save. Canada pressured Belgium throughout most of the first half, creating all kinds of scoring chances, but it was Belgium drawing first blood with a goal just before halftime. In the second half, Canada played hard but couldn't find the equalizer. Belgium's lone goal held up and Canada lost 1-0. And we have team coverage of this milestone moment for Canadian soccer. The CBC's Renee Filippone has fans' reaction in Vancouver, and Julia Wong is at another viewing party in Edmonton. So let's start with Julia Wong in Edmonton. Canada's star winger Alphonso Davies spent a decade in that city, and you were at the middle school he attended, St. Nicholas Catholic Junior High. A disappointing finish, but a fantastic performance by Canada. What's it been like to spend the game there?
Andrew, it's been really fun to be here. There was so much energy from all the students who packed this gymnasium, which just emptied out not too long ago. It was exciting for these students to see this game. They were cheering, there was drumming, there was some disappointment, some tense moments when there were missed opportunities, but overall, I think quite the experience for these kids. Now, Alphonso Davies was a student here in an elite soccer program at St. Nicholas, and joining me right now is Malik McDonald, who is also in that very same program that Alphonso Davies was in. Malik, how are you feeling? What was it like for you to watch that first game?
It was a wonderful game. I enjoyed it. Canada had a lot of possession, just couldn't get it in the back of the net. But yeah, it was a beautiful game.
And for you to see Alphonso Davies, who, I mean, there are posters of him in the school, there are jerseys of him in the classrooms. What is that like for you to see him on the field?
It's incredible. You see him at every wall in the school. Seeing him at the top level, playing with the best in the world, it's just inspiring to young footballers like me and others at the soccer academy.
What was your favorite part of watching this first game?
Well, this is like one of my first World Cups, like actually enjoying to watch because I don't really watch that much, but it was a beautiful game to watch with Fonzie playing, and it was unfortunate he missed that pen, but still amazing game.
And tell us, what does it mean for you to see someone like him who's from Edmonton, who walked these halls, who was in those classrooms? How does that inspire you?
It's incredible. It makes me feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. You just got to put in that extra work, and he's proved to everyone in Canada that it is possible.
And now I want to get your take on things. How far do you think Team Canada is going to be able to go?
I think I honestly, if they work hard enough, I feel they can make it to the finals. But yeah, we just got to put the ball in the back of the net.
Okay, all right, quite the prediction here from Malik McDonald, who is a grade 8 student here at St. Nicholas in Edmonton. Again, the very school that Alphonso Davies was in for several years when he was here in Edmonton, and quite the viewing party. A lot of energy. I think people are going to be shaking this game off and looking forward to the next one.
All right,
Andrew.
Julia, thank you. And thanks to Malik as well. The CBC's Julia Wong in Edmonton. The CBC's Jamie Strachan watched the match, and he joins me live. So, Jamie, give us your take on how Canada did in its first match of this Men's World Cup, because you look at if you didn't watch, I spent a lot of time watching, I'll admit, and you look at the score, you go, oh, well, Canada lost. But, you know, I think it would be fair to say that Canada dominated so much of this game and just had so many wonderful opportunities. It just didn't go our way.
For sure. I think the final score doesn't belie the game that Canada played. I think, you know, it's not the result that Team Canada wanted. It's not the result that many people in this country who are supporting this team wanted. But it answered a lot of key questions going forward in this tournament. How would Canada perform against the best teams in the world on the world's biggest stage, making their first World Cup appearance since their lone appearance in 1986? And the answer was that they performed very well. I mean, Belgium's one of the top teams in the world, some of the top players in the world. And I think in the first half, you know, Canada stunned them. The Belgians were on their heels. Canada had that one penalty kick that Alphonso Davies unfortunately missed. Could have had a couple of others that may have been awarded, but the Belgians were on their heels for much of that first half. Canada had all the play. Unfortunately, near the end of the half, Belgium was able to catch Canada's defense creeping up a little bit. But to the question of could Canada perform and could Canada compete with some of the best teams in the world, I think an overwhelming yes. I was watching the game on a number of different networks across the world, and that seemed to be kind of the consensus amongst the world soccer media was, wow, this team has a lot of flair, has a lot of talent, and is a team that, could still make some noise at this World Cup. But obviously the results, not the result that Canadian soccer fans or this team wanted, but definitely a strong effort.
And a strong effort by the whole team, right? I mean, so much focus has been on Alphonso Davies, but he's coming off that injury. He did miss, of course, that penalty kick opportunity, but the team as a whole was strong in this match, right?
No, there was lots of very strong efforts, from the front, through the back. I think, if you had told Canadian soccer fans, if you had told Canadian soccer pundits who weren't predicting a lot from this team that they would have one of the top teams in the world, the Belgians, on their heels for that entire first half, they would have scoffed at you. But, that was the game. And, for people who, aren't really familiar with soccer, to give kind of a hockey analogy, it's the equivalent of having, the other team kind of pinned in their own end for for an entire period. And then, the puck's chipped off the boards and they get a breakaway and they score a goal and, you lose 1-0, but you had all the play. And I think that's the case, here for the Canadians. Really had that play in the first half, a little more even in the second half, but a result, just not the result that they wanted.
So, Jamie, let's move forward. Let's go to the future. What is next for Team Canada?
Well, obviously not done yet. They play this weekend against Croatia, and the Croatians tied the other the other team in this group, Morocco, 0-0 in that first match. So still a lot of room for Canada to make some noise in this group. The top two teams advance. Croatia, also one of the top teams in the world. But I think the way that Canada played against Belgium today, I think they'll carry a lot of confidence over into that game this weekend against Croatia. And then they'll complete the round robin next week against Morocco. But lots to build off here, Andrew.
Jamie, thank you. The CBC's Jamie Strachan in Toronto. So let's turn now to the CBC's Renee Filipponi. She's at a watch party in Vancouver. So Renee, tell us what the mood is like there after this defeat. I mean, a defeat, but come on. The fans there must have been pretty proud of how Team Canada played.
Well, absolutely. There were hundreds of people here for a kickoff at 11 o'clock Pacific. The energy in here was unbelievable. A lot of people talking about nerves. And then, as the game went on, after Belgium scored, you could feel that tension ratcheting up as every minute in that game passed, hoping for that historic moment that Canada could get that goal today. It didn't happen. The crowd cleared out very quickly, but the fans here, really hardcore soccer fans, a lot of people watching at this venue tied to the Whitecaps. They watch the ins and the outs of these games, so you could see, they didn't let their eyes move the screen. And yes, obviously, as Jamie mentioned, looking forward to those next two games, Croatia and Morocco. No one entirely disappointed, though. They were happy with how strong the team was. Now, I have a special guest here with me as well, John Catliffe. He's a striker. He was the third highest goal scorer of all time for the Canadian national team, and you missed the 1986 World Cup because of an injury. What was it like for you to be here today for this moment and watch this team come back out here again 36 years later?
Well, it was special, really. It's been so long since Canada's been at a World Cup. I've never seen us at a World Cup. And a whole generation of players as we've been sort of in the soccer wilderness. I think today's performance shows that we deserve to be in World Cups. And I think it's especially important because we wanted to put on a good performance, show that we belong because we're hosting the next World Cup. And we didn't want to be seen as not deserving of a place in that tournament as well.
Any moments in that game stick out to you?
The second penalty that we didn't get, when Richie Larejo was trod on as he entered the penalty area. That sticks out for me. Of course, the missed penalty, I wonder why Alphonso takes it if he's our regular taker, or they wanted to give him something special, which he deserves as the first goal scorer at a World Cup. But what sticks out for me is that I think outplayed Belgium. Now, they were never behind, so you never know in a soccer game. And you can watch a soccer game and be a fan of one team and see it totally one way. But I think if you're in the Belgium locker room right now, you're quite happy that you got away from Canada with a win.
All right, thank you so much, John. And John will be here for those next two games in Group F when Team Canada plays Croatia on Sunday and then Morocco on next Thursday, fighting, to continue on in this World Cup moment and still waiting for that big moment, that elusive goal. So he'll be watching closely, and I know thousands and thousands of Canadian soccer fans will be watching closely as well.
Renee, thank you. That is Renee Filipponi live in Vancouver. And the excitement of this game is being felt in living rooms and bars across the country, including in Ottawa at Glebe Central Pub. That's where we've reached General Manager David Hania and some fans along with him. So, David, tell me what your pub has been like this afternoon.
It was an amazing atmosphere. The pub was packed shoulder to shoulder. We had an amazing audience cheering the whole time, chanting, raving. Just pure excitement.
And tell me about the excitement, because I can hear the chatter now. People still seem quite excited. And even though it's a defeat, it doesn't have that feel of a badly played game, does it?
I think the people here are really just proud to see our boys out on the pitch today. There's a lot of pride in our Canadian team, and I think what we're looking at now is just the excitement for the next one on Sunday.
And tell me about what the fans there have been telling you, and what it's been like what was it like for you to watch Team Canada, the men's, play in its first World Cup game since 1986?
Oh, it was amazing. During the Canadian national anthem, you could just see the emotion. Gentleman sitting in our booth, he was shedding tears right afterwards because, it's been since 1986 that we've been able to see them last. That was before I was even born. So this is my first experience ever seeing our team on the national stage, and the raw emotion of it, the bringing together of community, that I think is really important. And for the growing sport of soccer in Canada, it was really special.
Was there a moment where you think Canada could have won this? Not just the penalty kick opportunity by Alphonso Davies, but at least that first half, even into the second half, where Canada really seemed to dominate.
Yeah, they played so well. And I think that's what makes these next coming games so exciting. I mean, Belgium is probably our toughest competition, and seeing how well we stood up to them, there's excitement for the next couple games.
And what's it been like for other games? Because I know that Canada is a big country with people with all kinds of different backgrounds. So has it been exciting there for other matches as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a big boost for us here. Yesterday we had a great turnout for the Mexico game. A lot of fans came up for that. I mean, we even opened early on Monday for that England game too, and that was really fun. It was a bit more of a cozy atmosphere, quieter on those early mornings, but it's a really unique experience.
It was, it was really good to talk to you. Appreciate it. Nice to see the energy still there and people still excited. David, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Andrew.
That's General Manager David Hania joining us from the Glebe Central Pub in Ottawa.